Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Megan.
And I'm Nick.
This is Louie.
This is Cooper.
And today we're going to be giving you a tank tour of our breeding crested geckos.
And if you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Alright guys, so in our first tank we have a trio, and in that trio is Waylon, who's actually the male and our first crested gecko we ever got, and we also have Helga and Big Bertha. If you guys want to know more about these guys, make sure you check out our Meet Our Cresties video, which will be linked down below.
So let's get into the tank and what it looks like and how I built it. So what I did for this is kind of my typical great stuff foam, shave down the foam, put in some silicone, and then put coconut fiber on top of it. I have multiple builds and I can link them below. So let's get into what makes this tank bioactive, because everybody loves that. So as far as the drainage layer goes, that is the BioDude's Hydrogrow, separated by a mesh separator, and then we have his Terrafauna. Now in that Terrafauna is a mixture of some sphagnum moss and some magnolia leaves in this one. We also, in this tank, we have springtails, and then we have another massive colony of powdered blue isopods. That seems to be what I can get to grow the most in these tanks. So as far as the background goes, we have 2 cork tubes, and then we have 1 cork round in the background. The sides are just foam with coconut fiber on them. Now the bottom right cork tube is a smaller one. That's one that Bertha tends to sleep in the most. The top left one, that's one that Waylon seems to sleep in the most. Now I know what you're thinking, 3 like pretty ginormous crested geckos, because these are our 3 biggest weight-wise by far. In a tank like this, is there enough hiding spots? Well, so when I built the tank, I knew I wanted to have a trio in here eventually. So with that cork round, it comes down and there's actually a lip under it, and that's actually kind of like another cork tube inside of it. So that is where you can usually find Helga sleeping. Now, lately I've been seeing that Helga and Waylon will share the top left cork tube together, but if they need to get away from each other, they easily can, and that's something that's important to us. Now, as far as planting goes, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we wanted to keep this kind of a bare, naturalistic tank, so we only have the 1 plant in there, and that is a pothos. Now, as you can see, it's kind of dying, not doing too hot, but this is the first pothos we've ever gotten, and it's actually thrived for well over a year. But having these 3 in here now and breeding and digging to lay their eggs, and then Nick digging to find them, it's kind of gotten beaten up a little bit. So we are planning on replacing that pretty soon, but we do like how it just has the 1 main green spot, and then they really have the rest of the cork bark and wood to climb on. And
kind of with that plant dying is because you have 3 crested geckos that are well over 50 grams jumping on it. So this spring I got to find something a little more hardy that can handle, you know, freaking Big Bertha jumping around on it. Now when they lay their eggs, it is a bioactive tank, so I don't provide a lay box because they lay naturally in the dirt. And that is something that we really have enjoyed, you know, is seeing them do natural things. So for these girls, most of the time, it almost bit me. Hope she's not like that. Most of the time, Helga will lay in the back left corner, and then Bertha lays in the back right corner. Now that's most of the time. Sometimes they lay elsewhere, but I typically know where to dig, and last night we actually found 4 eggs in here in their 2 corners. So that's just kind of a way that if you're going to do bioactive and you're going to breed, be prepared to dig, because that's just the way it is, and that's the way that we like to keep them.
That's our first group. And
that's our first group. Let's get on to the second one.
Okay, so now we're moving on to our second trio, and in this tank we have Bella, Donna, and Willie. And we'll insert up some close-up vids, but this is right now kind of like a weird conglomeration of geckos that don't really fit into our project. Like we said, we kind of have a Dalmatian one starting, we have a dark group, but we don't really have any place for these guys yet, so we just kind of put them in the tank together. Thankfully, Bella especially, they are both really good layers, and we've gotten a lot of babies from them, and their babies have turned out really pretty. So that's a plus, but yeah, this is just kind of our weird group that we put together. A
temporary season group is just kind of the way we're looking at it. Now let's get into where they live. So in their home right now, I actually just redid this tank not too long ago, and I put all new coconut fiber background on there, and it looks really good. So you can see that probably in a year it might look like the way that Waylon's group, you know, like that tank looked, because they climb a lot and it falls off. So Now the other thing too on this one, when I built in the background, I didn't have a nice cork round to provide 3 hiding spots. So what I did was I put one in the top right, one cork tube in the bottom left, and then I went ahead and I placed another cork tube there in the middle. We don't have any plants in this tank yet because I'm kind of waiting till spring so I can get something hardy and something I want. I've just been trying to really think about what I want to put in there, and with all of our other tanks with all the plants, we're just trying to see what goes good and what doesn't go good. Now the thing with the hides, when I built this tank, the 2 hides that we built in, one is in the bottom left and I can't see in it at all. You can't see in it even if you shine a flashlight. The top right, if you go above the tank you can see it, but I angled it in an upward direction so you can't see what's in there. But luckily, since they've been living in this tank for probably 8 months now together, something like that, I kind of know where everybody sleeps. Bella, she's gonna sleep in the bottom left. She likes to be really hided a lot. And then Donna sleeps in the top right. And then Willie, he either sleeps in the top right with Donna or he sleeps in the dirt. He'll literally burrow under the spag moss and he will sleep under that, or he'll find a leaf and sleep under that. So that's kind of how the hiding is in this tank with no foliage at the time, or at this moment in time, but we're definitely gonna add some.
Alright guys, thanks so much for watching our video. We forgot to film an outro yesterday, so we're filming it right now. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And what do you think our comment should be? Comment down below which trio you liked more, Waylon or Willie. Thanks guys. See you next time.